Have you been hearing about rising interest rates and a risk of a housing collapse in Canada? Hi, everybody. My name is Jessie Vu, and I've been helping middle income Canadians make better financial decisions for over 20 years. Today, let's talk about how rising interest rates in Canada won't necessarily lead to house foreclosures, but instead are probably going to affect other things like consumer debt and recreational vehicles. So, interest is the extra money you have to pay when you borrow money from someone. Sometimes the government decides to raise these rates, which means that people have to pay more money back than they expected when they originally borrowed. Now, let's talk about house foreclosures. When people borrow money to buy a house, they take out something called a mortgage. For people with a fixed rate, this means that the interest rate stays the same throughout their term. For variable rate mortgages, the interest rate can fluctuate. This is where the concern is. If rates increase, the payments will also have to increase. Here's the thing, many people are now extending out their amortization, which means that the time they take to pay off the house is actually going to be longer. And by doing this, this actually allows their payments to stay the same as if they had a lower interest rate. And here's the thing. Sometimes when people want to buy things like toys, clothes, gadgets, they use credit cards or take out loans. And this is where things kind of get tricky. People do not have unlimited money, and now they're going to have to decide what they want to pay first. And most Canadians are not going to stop paying their mortgage. If people are struggling to keep up with their debts, the likely thing that's going to happen is credit cards and loans are going to end up going into default. So, you know those cool trailers, recreational vehicles that people were using for camping during COVID? I predict we're going to see more repossessions of trailers and RVs and bankruptcies and consumer proposals before we actually see foreclosures, because people are going to give up their toys before they give up their house.